Hi, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to On the Bar. Today you have me, Sierra,
Sterling,
and Sav.
and sorry if this is a little awkward. We took a 2-week break. We took a little spring break. So at least for me personally,
we're well rested.
we are well rested. I'm figuring out how to talk
I feel the same way.
up on mic and camera again.
Yes.
But we're super excited to be back. It's not gonna feel like a break to y'all because episodes are still coming out. But yeah, life has been lifing. How have you guys been?
It's been hectic. It's been hectic. We took a break, and that was like very, very much needed. I was really proud of us. We had like 10 weeks straight of just recording, and we were like on that shit.
Another bus, another
like
club, another.
yes,
Yeah.
and we like got our structure down, and we got our consistency, all of that. So proud of us. And so I felt like we needed just a little break, you know, so that we could like rest and recuperate. And then for myself personally, like, shit just hit the fan. Like what was supposed to be a restful relaxation time, just like life kind of like hit me all at once with like other aspects of my life. So I'm actually feeling more refreshed now that we're starting up again.
Really?
Yeah.
The like feeling of being busy and like having projects to work on. I feel. I'm the same. We took a break and then, but whereas I feel like I had a actually no, yeah, a lot of shit just like happened within like the 2 weeks. Like a lot of it was good. A lot of it was like not bad or weird. Just like I was just like things just keep happening. Like the first week we took a break, I got physically injured 2 times in like the span of 3 days, and I was like, oh, okay, this is happening. But then also
Mommy,
mommy, be careful,
The
mosquitoes. But then also like things that I have been manifesting have also like come to fruition over the past 2 weeks.
would you care to share?
Well, I don't like yes
Get into it.
yes I'll share a little. But yeah, care to share. Yeah, I got a job offer for this company that is very much everything that I have been trying to do since I graduated.
She's on salary, y'all. Literally,
bitch
fucking
negotiated her
401k
salary.
type shit.
Yeah, bitch, I'm salaried and I got benefits.
Leave,
Yeah, I got
oh
that
my
PTO,
god, dinner
paid time
on
off.
Sierra.
You know, it's nearly in this economy. Yeah. No, it's never enough. But
She about to buy us eggs.
yeah, bro, I'm got $15 eggs on me. Yeah. But yeah, it's been really exciting. It's just weird. It's weird having like something that you have been wanting come true. That's like, it's like really weird,
and you deserve it.
Oh,
and you deserve it.
Thanks.
Yes.
That's really what's been the biggest, I think, like lesson is being like, I deserve this, and not feeling like weird.
Yeah, don't let imposter syndrome kind of take over, because it really will. It really will.
Yeah, and we were in a production meeting when she found out.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of our meeting, you were like, guys, I interviewed for a job and I'm like nervous about it. And then we were like, no, don't worry, like sending positive vibes. We continue with our work. And then she gets an email.
Literally.
And she's like, guys, I got the job. And we just like all stood up and started like screaming.
Yeah, and I was having like multiple anxiety attacks. Because that's how I be. But yeah, just like the fact that like it's only been 2 weeks since we last recorded, but so much has happened.
So much has changed.
For you, for me.
Yeah.
For you.
I'm like, I feel like I've had a pretty good last 2 weeks. My grandfather, he finished his radiation therapy. Yay. So he is in remission.
Yay.
Okay. Yes. So that's great news. What else have I done? I feel like I've been very creatively blocked lately, and the past 2 weeks I was kind of just like, maybe the first week, like 2 weeks ago, I was being really hard on myself, really trying to write, and like nothing was working. So the next week I kind of just had more patience with myself. I started reading The Artist's Way, and I'm actually doing it. So I've never gone
pages.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The morning pages, like I did all of them this week, and I started writing a song. Like I got a verse and chorus down. Leave it down.
What is The Artist's Way?
The Artist's Way. It is a book that helps artists like reach their highest, like there's what is it? How do they word it? It's like my artist spiritual. Oh my gosh, I want to read the right thing.
Yeah,
it's
but
like the highest. Oh my god, the highest. I'm the highest.
I feel like, at least from what I remember, like my like summation of it was that like it's how to practically implement the artistic practice into your life, because I think that like you don't really get a lot of that when you like are a creative person, or like you don't have that like guidance a lot of times that are like is like, no, like this has to be like a regimented thing, right? That like you ritual do every day. Yeah.
What I meant to say was creative recovery. Like for artists, like the wounded artist, like it's really good for recovering from that and not letting, she calls the voice in your head that objects everything you do your censor. So it's about not giving your censor, like the devil on your shoulders, that much power and taking that power back. So that's kind of the point of the morning pages, is to just write everything that's on your mind. And like nothing is good or bad, just like anything you write. Because like if you're too worried about creating something good, then it's so hard to create. You just have to create, whether it's good or bad.
That's really true.
That's my quote of the day.
Well, I'm glad that you got a chorus and some verses down.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all it's all about.
Melody,
you know?
Sorry.
I'm screaming.
I guess I'll share some more about my life.
Yeah.
I had to warm up a little bit. I was a little nervous. I was a little shy, guys.
She's like, I'm a little shy girl.
Wait, what's the thing? It's like
Ooh.
ooh.
Well, I'm back on the streets.
Yeah.
I took a little detour and took a little detour. Don't regret it. But I guess my biggest like piece of advice for all you ladies out there, or whoever, it like if your partner's telling you that like they resent you, you should probably run.
Cut that shit off. Snip it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, get into it.
But now I do feel very like light and full of a lot of like creative energy. I think like I don't know if you guys can relate.
Like leeches.
Yeah.
Suck the. Sorry.
No, I saw a photo. I saw a photo of myself. I saw a photo of myself last week from an event that I went to. And this was like right as things were kind of like falling apart and stuff. Like I look so drained. I look like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, and my hair was so flat and greasy.
Now he took the volume off your hair.
Can I make a diss at like our sign? So like here's the thing. Me and Sterling are both Leos, okay? And we understand that Leos get a lot of hate. I am officially asking, can we redirect all of this hate for Leos to the men?
Yes.
Please.
Please.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Oh yeah.
Please, because they want the attention on them for real. So let's direct it to them.
Wait, that's so crazy because I've never met a Leo man, and in the past
congratulations.
In the past year, I have had the pleasure of knowing genuinely knowing one Leo man, and then semi knowing another Leo man. And I think she's correct in that, and my exhibit A, exhibit B of Leo men. I've never had a problem with Leo women.
Yeah,
I've always
and you won't.
Says the Leo woman.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe like a Pisces woman and a Leo man. I feel like that could work because they're both like in their feelings type shit. Like I don't know.
Hey, actually, I'm a Pisces. So.
You are not.
You are not. A Pisces.
No, I'm a Taurus.
It's Taurus moon that we're entering too.
Girl, this is Taurus season. Yeah. I love it. I feel so like in my shit for real.
I went to a yoga class last week and it was like a astrological, like she does like a reading for the week, and since we were entering the new moon, she just like gave us a summary of what the next 28 days are gonna look like. And it's really, she was like, right now it may seem like life has like really been against you, but everything's gonna come to fruition in the next 28 days.
They're looking
like
up.
you're gonna like she literally said you're gonna feel that weight come off your shoulders in the next 28 days. So I'm just like, you know, like get ready, y'all, cut that person off. Okay.
Yes.
Get ready for the summer solstice.
Get ready for it. It's summertime.
Yes. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but like when I leave a relationship, I feel like it's almost like an excitement now that I've like done it a couple of times where like I'm excited because I know this energy propels me forward. It's like this weird thing, like you always get like full of like this energy to like overhaul your life when like one person leaves.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't like, how do I say it? I haven't left that many relationships, and fewer amount of those relationships have been something where I was like, fuck you, bye type energy, which I think is like, there's different stuff in the beginning. But yeah, I feel like breakups, that's why you always like, when a man gets broken up with, they like stereotypically generally go to the gym, you know,
right,
be whatever. Stereotypically generally, okay? I'm just stereotyping.
Right.
Not all men. I'm stereotyping and I'm generalizing. When men get broken up with, they like go to the gym and they get like their blah blah blah. I feel like it's just that energy of like, okay, I feel like breakups are like a tangible thing of like shedding skin almost.
For sure.
Because you like attach your identity to that person. So when that person's not there anymore, it's like, who am I? I get to be somebody new and different.
Right. Yeah.
And I have all this space now to do that. You know, like it does take up so much of like your time and your energy when it's like when it's a situation that's like not serving you anymore. So like once that space is freed up, you can do those things. You can focus, which is kind of funny because like you think, oh, maybe like, oh, I can't do these things without this person, you know, or it's gonna hurt or whatever. But like it actually makes you lighter and more energized to do those things.
And also, if I may add something, you also have done those things without this person.
Right.
So you can. You are capable.
It's just about ripping the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. And that's, the first step a lot of the time is the hardest. The first
step is always the hardest.
Like
getting started on anything, like creative process.
Yeah.
Breaking up with somebody.
Yep. Hard decisions.
Hard decisions. The first step is always the hardest. And then once you're in it, it's like
going to the gym.
It's like it's like I'm going on a roller coaster. The scariest part is when you're going up the thing, and then once you're down, you're like, well, shit, I'm on the fucking roller coaster. Yeah. Right. Like, might as well see it to the end.
Right.
Do you need the vibes?
Vibes.
Sorry.
Vibes.
The vibes.
Literally. Sorry.
Anything else?
What else? Oh my gosh, this is such a sidetrack, but last night I was like, oh my gosh, I smoked so much weed. Okay, I wanted to like go to sleep and sleep I wanted to sleep. Okay. My cat is just meowing the whole night. The whole night. The whole night
serenading you.
Well, how come Nova is? She's a scoundrel. She's a rascal.
I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, she's just talking. And I'm like, who are you talking to?
I feel like her sole mission in life is to just never give you peace.
I know. Like, it's just, and I was literally like doing the math the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm manifesting like she's going to live until she's like 25.
Okay.
So that means that I'm going to be like 45. With her. Like, that's so crazy. Like, oh my god,
that's your child.
Like, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I haven't slept since I was 22. Like, what? But yeah, I didn't get the best night's rest last night because of my cat. So
little scoundrel.
I also took half of an edible gummy.
Get into it.
I slept really well.
Oh, I love that.
I'm on similar plan.
Oh, get
she is. It was raining. I had a candle on. Had my fairy lights on.
Candle.
Yeah, you know, I put away some of my laundry. Sorry, this is such boring talk.
That's like my favorite activity is like getting high by myself. And I know that sounds like addict behavior.
No, I do that all the time.
For me.
I often.
But I think with marijuana specifically,
the devil's lettuce.
I think it can be used in such a way that like for myself it points me inward and I can really like I love, like you were saying, like lighting a candle, being alone in my safe space, journaling. I get some like really good like profound work done, and then I literally like will write notes to myself like, bring this up to Deb, and Deb is my therapist. So I bring my notebook out and I'm like, okay, Deb, these are my high thoughts.
I'm screaming. Wait, that's iconic. I should do that.
I love that.
Do you guys ever like only remember things that you thought of high when you get high again? Like, I feel like I enter a different realm of my mind almost. And I'm like, Like, I don't know.
That's me with like anxiety, like anxious thoughts. But then I just tell myself like, hey, like this can be figured out when you're sober. You don't have to make any decisions right now. But yeah, it is a recurring like anxiety thoughts from me specifically.
I only get those thoughts when I'm drunk. Like when I'm drunk, I'll have thoughts that I only have when I'm drunk. Usually like when I'm high, to me, it just, so I am also mentally ill. I have very bad anxiety. I'm anxious all the time. So when I'm high, I just feel like very light and airy. So I just like am just like.
Does it depend on the strain for you though? Like I've noticed for myself, like sativa. Not a chance.
Sativa can go crazy.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
That
No,
makes me
I
feel
can't.
insane.
I think that was the strain I had the one time I greened out really bad.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you?
Oh my god, what happened?
Did I tell you about that?
I don't know. I've
I-
also greened out on sativa.
Yeah, it was my freshman year of college, and I took my friend gave me this like cookie dough ball, and it was like 30 grams of it. And I split it in half with my roommate, and she was much more experienced with it than I was. I also took like a 3-month break from doing anything. But I was like, I want to have fun, blah blah blah, and so I took it. Was gonna go to our Black Student Union formal. Hadn't really eaten anything that day because there was a pregame and they said there's gonna be free Chick-fil-A at the pregame. So get ready, late to the pregame. Go to the pregame, they're out of food. So I haven't eaten since like maybe 2 p.m. It's like 10 p.m. I think that's really important to why happened. So then I go to my friend's dorm, and I don't remember a lot. I remember going to one of my friend's dorm and being really freaked out because she had this white roommate whose her side of the room was disgusting. It was like again, stereotyping, generalizing. Some white girls are disgusting. Yeah. Y'all don't clean your rooms. You don't clean your rooms.
You leave food in there. It's the food that gets me.
That's what happened. There was like food, huh?
I said penny, nickel, dime.
There was like leftover food from the calf, like strewn off on her side of the room. There was like trash. It was when the high was starting to like creep up, so I was like freaked out by it, so I had to leave. Go to my other friend's dorm. I'm sitting in her lounge, her public lounge, where RAs are walking by and other people are walking by. I'm sitting on her couch like this.
Oh my god!
And I could like feel I told my friend, she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I can feel every nerve ending in my body."
Yeah. No, that's how you know.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
She was like, "Are you okay? Like, do you want to just stay here?" Because we hadn't left yet, and the formal was in downtown San Jose, which is like 10 to 20 minutes away from my school. And I was like, no, it's fine. I think I'm just like really high, and probably by the time we get there I'll be okay.
No.
So I don't remember the drive there at all. I don't remember the drive there in the slightest. Get there, it's only getting worse. I like can't even stand. I'm like nauseous. Every movement is too much. I'm wearing heels. I'm just dressed. The lights are dark. The strobe light. I'm over fucking whelmed. And so I find this table in the back, and I sit there. And my friends are like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I just need to sit." And they're like, "Okay, well, like we're gonna go like." Because people were like, "Oh my gosh," like blah blah blah. They're like, "We're gonna go like just show face, whatever. You sit here and like we'll come check on you, make sure you're good."
Yeah.
I pull out the chairs, make a little bed for myself. I have like a jacket with me. I fall asleep. I remember this time one of my friends, really close friends, came up to me. She was like, "You need to just get up." Like, she's like, "I think you sitting is like not helping. Like, you need to get up and move." So she takes me to the dance floor. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm there
if you managed to fall asleep, I would leave you there.
I'm upright for about 2 minutes.
She's at peace right now.
Yeah. I'm upright for about like 2 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh no, I gotta go. Like, I cannot be up right now." Then at one point I was like, maybe I just need to throw it up. So I tried to go throw it up. Couldn't throw up. I don't really throw up on command. Fun fact about me. So then fun fact, I can't do that.
Fun fact, I can't throw up.
I was at a wedding last weekend, and I brought up the term puke and rally, but this was like in Colorado. I don't know. I think just the crowd hadn't like heard of that.
I don't think the
Boulder
crowd.
crowd.
I don't think
Denver.
the crowd of who you were with pukes and rallies for fun. You know what I mean?
Well, I had to sit there and explain it, and they were looking at me just like shocked and appalled that like I would even come up with such a concept.
Oh.
You ever want to feel like a miscreant, a degenerate?
A
Go to a wedding.
Go to
A wedding where you have to explain puke and rally to a bunch of ex-Mormons.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you're in the Mormon crowd, queen. I think they were probably like, what the fuck is she on? But I couldn't puke and rally. And then I got to the table. I went back to the table. I was like, I need to fucking sleep. Slept. At one point, I wake up and they're doing like awards. And so there's a shit ton of people sitting at the table. And like the lights are on. And I'm like, what the fuck? And all these people are just like, all these people are people I know. They're all my friends. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm fine. I'm just high." But I was like, "Why did you guys all sit here?" I was like, "You saw a table with a girl that was passed out, and you said, let me
Let's sit here.
let me sit down."
Also, there's nothing worse for me when I'm high than people knowing that I'm high.
Oh yeah, it was embarrassing.
I just need to. Oh my gosh, that reminded me about something. Last year, after I graduated from college, there was like a after party, right? And like, I wish I could name drop, but I'm not going to because I'm classy. But I'm at the party, right? And I'm just having a great time. Yes, I was high because, like, yes.
Yeah.
This girl comes up to me and she goes, "Yo, are you good? You look."
And I'm leaving the party and I'm exiting. I'm calling the Uber.
Yeah, she was like, "You look." I don't even want to say it. She was like, "You look really fucked up." And I was like.
I'm like, okay.
I was like, first of all, bitch, I'm having a great time right now, actually, and you just like ruined my vibe. Now I want to go home.
That's some of the rudest shit.
Yeah, no, she's fucked up for that. Oh, that girl.
That hoe.
Oh,
Always has to say something.
she looks like she always got a thought to have.
I have a similar thought. I was hanging out with this guy. I will bleep his name. And I was at his place, and I was sitting there, and him and all of his roommates were smoking, and we were like just sitting outside on the porch. And then the guy that I was talking to at the time like looks at me and he's like, "You look so high right now."
That pisses me off
It
so
pissed
much.
me off
Like,
too.
shut up.
Yeah,
Like,
shut up.
It's like it's just
All
like
surrounded-
yo,
like, and it was like you're clearly doing this to like get the support and like think that like or make your roommates think you're cool for
Right,
like, you know,
like yes, I'm high, and what
Yeah.
are you? Low? Like, I don't know. Like,
aren't you high?
Yes,
Like
I'm high. How about
everybody
you?
there was high, but he was like, you specifically look
yeah.
high.
No,
I just
it's
don't-
were you the only girl there?
Yes.
it's like
Also
an
on top of that,
attack.
yes.
low-key.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's just like I don't know.
Retired to the room for the rest of the
Yeah,
evening.
it's just like one of the. It's very much like a vibe killer. It's like don't fucking kill my vibe.
Yeah,
I'm just having a good time.
right.
And yeah, it's also like something like I would only say something like that to somebody if they were being like disruptive. Like
I'm
when you're
also-
like really
yeah.
drunk, I'm like, girl, you're drunk.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
also like,
Yeah.
why are you like noticing me so much? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, why are you like on my dick? Like, can
Well,
you just let me
especially-
be high in peace?
Especially in the mindset that you are in when you're high.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate being
Yeah.
perceived when I'm. I hate being perceived
Yeah.
all the time, but it's specifically when I'm high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you tell me that, I'm like, oh fuck.
like,
Now,
oh, you look like this?
yeah. What are you perceiving me right now? I thought I was. I told my friend the other day. It was like sometimes I just want to be a fucking amoeba. Like I just want to be a living organism floating, and not.
They say
really-
that's what like the amoebas like at the bottom of the ocean. Like, have you seen people say like Elon Musk looks like that?
No.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
They see people
Yeah.
say he looks like an amoeba.
Yeah.
I feel like.
like one of the like blobs at the bottom.
Oh,
of the ocean. You know
what? Like you mean like the blobfish?
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
transparent.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways,
He looks like a deep sea creature. I feel like that's most of the Republican Party's like people.
They all
Yeah,
look
that's
like
their tea, for real.
dinosaurs.
They
They
really
quite
do.
literally all look like, and like I'm not just saying like because they're old, but also because they're old. They all look like dinosaurs to
yeah. Yeah.
me. No offense to the dinosaur population.
Also, the
screaming.
women in the cabinet remind me of girls who would have bullied me, you know, in high school.
Yeah, like
or,
it's giving
middle
like
school.
nursing major for real. Yeah. Like it's like, oh my god, like that's not gonna cancel out you like being a bully.
Yeah.
Like your whole life.
Well,
Like-
they just go into those fields to be bullies even more, to like
Right.
a population of people who can't really defend themselves.
Mm.
No, like there's plenty of great hardworking nurses out there.
Nurse.
But I'm looking at you, nurse, listening to this right now. You know,
like,
what we're talking about.
I know.
You know your coworkers who are sociopaths.
Yeah. A large group of my friends from high school are nurses. Are all nurses, and one of my really close friends from high school, she'll second this. She'll go, actually, yeah. A lot of I wonder, like, obviously you guys just said reasons why that is, but I'm just like, if you are a bitch, true to your heart, why do you want to go into service work? Why do you want to be around people?
Because I think it's for their, like, I think it's for themselves, so they can feel like they're a good person now, like low-key.
That's another. I always think about, like, the philosophical question of, like, what makes a good person a good person. It's like, if you have to tell yourself you're a good person, are you a good person?
But I think that everybody on a level believes that they're good people. I don't think, like, there's anyone out there. I'm sure there are people out there, but for the majority, like, I think people generally think that they're good people, and they're always gonna have we're also gonna have, like, villains in our stories too, but your villain, my personal villain, doesn't ever acknowledge or know that, you know. It's all, like, so relative.
It is so relative. That's what I was telling my friend. She's, like, trying to work through this conflict that she has with somebody, and I just keep on having to tell her, like, you're just gonna be the villain in her story. And that's, like, I feel like it's just, like, it's all relative. It's the perspective and context into which you exist for that person, you know.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody could be whatever, but, like, if you did me wrong, you know, fuck you,
literally,
in my eyes.
Right. And I think that that's, like, why at the end of the day all you can do is focus on making yourself happy, and, like, the immediate, like, reality that you create for yourself. That's not, like, in the sense of, like, creating delusions where you're, like, you know, rewriting the narrative, but also accepting that, like, you're not going to be everyone's favorite. There are going to be people out there who have a bad perception of you for whatever reason, and
it's not your responsibility to control how other people perceive you.
You can't control it. No. So it's like, once you've learned that people are going to feel the way that they feel about you, another thing, I was telling the same friend, she was talking about a guy one time, and she was like, well, what if I do this and then he doesn't want to talk to me anymore? And I was like, girl, he's already decided how he feels about you before this. Whatever you do is, like, not gonna, like, he's not gonna switch it. That's not how feelings work, you know. He already knows so you can't control it. You just gotta do you.
And in the worst case scenario where that person does flip, it's like, now you have clarity. Now you understand, like, where you stand with that person, and at least, like, the entire time you are authentic to yourself, instead of having to, like, because if it is a situation where someone is, like, their attention or their time or their love is so dependent on, like, these, like, these one singular things or one singular interactions, like, you're always going to be in pursuit of their favor all the time. And I'd rather just get off of that hamster wheel, like, as quickly as possible.
That never-ending train going to nowhere. Get off of it.
Yeah.
You know?
She said, speaking of train, sorry.
Speaking of train, what?
Speaking of train.
What kind of train?
Are you trying to ask for a train to be what?
Oh,
train
I was going to, like, pivot us
to Sinners?
Yeah.
Oh, to Sinners. Where's my mind?
She's thinking about Ryan Coogler, actually.
Guys, I have a massive crush on Ryan Coogler and his accent. I could listen to him talk all day.
I love it. Guys, we gotta take Sterling to Oakland.
Oh my god.
She's like,
wait, we should go to the Bay.
Yeah. We gotta take. It was so funny. When I told Sterling about Sinners, she didn't know what it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this movie's coming out, and then the director just did this like TikTok where he explained all of the formats, and like one of the formats is in City Walk, and I really want to go, blah, blah, blah. And I sent it to her. Literally the first thing she says, she goes, I like his accent.
She started it. She introduced me.
He's so Bay Area.
He's like so Oakland. Like he is so Oakland coated.
No, I see it. Like,
Yeah.
I see it. I see the... And he's gotta be an eater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That little mustache. Yeah.
And also that little scene in the... Sorry. Woo! Sorry.
So this, I think, episode...
Wait, I meant to bring my fan. I literally meant to bring my fan. I was like, we're going to be talking about fucking Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Bro.
Just putting it out there. Spoiler alerts, we will be talking about the film Sinners. It's been out for long enough for most of the audience to have seen it 2 or 3 times, so...
And if you haven't, then, like, get it together. And
If you haven't, go see it. Go to the theater.
Yeah.
Literally go to a theater. Go spend, I know it's expensive. Go spend that money.
Oh.
Go to a theater.
It's for a
like,
great
fuck
cause,
rent. Just
which
go see
is...
him.
Or go, they have, okay, also fun fact, lots of theaters have discount nights. Find a discount night. Go to the theater.
Tuesdays.
Go to,
AMC.
or matinee showing on the weekend. Get up, go to 10 a.m. showing. That's just like $10.
Get into it.
Maybe we should say, like, why this one in particular is so, like, important.
For theaters?
For going into theaters, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll
Gonna give her
come
time
on.
to
Yeah.
shine.
But no, this movie was so important for theaters because he filmed it on I forget what the specific cameras. I know one's called Panavision and then one's the IMAX 70 millimeter, and it's like the first time those 2 film cameras have ever been shot together. And they nowadays don't really show the full perspective and of all film cameras because a lot of things are standardized to the specific settings of the projectors within a theater. But he was able to broker some deals with specific theaters, as I kind of mentioned earlier. And there are certain theaters across the nation that are showing it in the way that like he intended it to be shown with the actual film cameras.
The Vista, right, in LA.
Yeah, the Vista.
One of them.
The Vista's the one. It's, I know the one that's in my head is it's the Vista Theater in LA and then the Fox Theater in Oakland have like the dead ass like big reel of film in the back that's being cranked through.
That's like, I think they're re-releasing it in 70 millimeter.
Yeah, 70 millimeter is like not a little different. It's that one. The perspective change isn't actually in the one with the crank through, but the specialness is that it's the actual film being cranked through. But the 70 millimeter has the actual perspective changes that he wants. And they are re-releasing it. Oh, I got tickets. I'm gonna see it for a 3rd time.
Oh, get into it.
Yeah, unfortunately, me and my sister have to see it at 11:45 p.m. on a Thursday.
Double cheek
because
up, hella ass. Sorry.
No,
Thursday afternoon.
Thursday because.
I was like, did she not get the joke? I was like, oh, she didn't get it.
Double cheeked up on Thursday afternoon. Hella ass. That's how I feel about one meat. Okay, anyways. Dude, she's so everything. But we'll get into it. But the one in City Walk has the 2 different perspective changes. They did re-release it. It did crash the AMC website. My sister and I've seen Sinners twice at City Walk for 70 millimeter, but every time I've seen it, I've been like this, or like this.
Oh, I want to see it again so bad.
You guys, if you guys drink a Monster and want to come to a late night showing,
I might.
Yeah, it's like those are. Let me. I'll check the AMC in a second.
Yeah.
But those are the like hella late night ones are the only ones with seating left.
Okay,
like
I'd
they're
be
all
down,
yeah, they're all sold out. But yeah, it's just like this movie I think reminded people that there's an actual like thought process to how films are shown and like movies are shown, and not just like how most of people think about movies now, which is like just projected onto the big screen and like, okay, I can just do that at home and I have to pay $20 for it. But like I think having a director spend 10 minutes talking about why he wants it to be shown in these specific ways, and you can only get that done in a theater, is letting people,
it's like bringing back theaters.
Yeah, it's making people realize that like theaters are important. I think, and you can see it like. Even I just saw Thunderbolts, which is the new Marvel movie. Actually pretty good if y'all care about Marvel. But they filmed it for IMAX, which is something that like Marvel has never given a fuck about that type of shit. But like you can see like
the impact
of that like kind of already.
Plus, just listening to him in his interviews, you can just tell how passionate he is about his craft. It was so refreshing to like listen to someone who is like genuinely just still so excited about the work that he's doing. and explain it in a way that most people could like understand. I like when I watched that video that you sent me, I was literally just like, this reminds me of being in film school and just like being a sponge to like just how like all this new information that's like so wonderful and great, and like it like reminded me like what I really like about cinema and film. So yeah, like his passion just like comes through in a way that like at least sparks passion in me, which I think is like such a cool thing.
I love how he's also clocking journalists that are like saying that this is a black film, or like he's one of the best black directors. Like
I agree.
It's just so crazy that kind of language is still being used. Yeah, but it's really good that he's clocking it.
He's clocking it, and like literally every interview I've listened to like 3 of him now. Yeah, like he will clock them, but in a very like respectful and like, which he doesn't have to be, but like I just admire that he is very like mindful and like he knows what the message was that he was trying to convey with his story, and isn't afraid to like just say like, oh, actually no, that's not right. Like I think on the interview I listened to with like him on NPR, she mentioned something about how like the Chinese Americans were not necessarily accepted into white communities, but also not necessarily accepted into black communities. And he was like, that's not true. Like he just like straight up said like, that's actually inaccurate. Like they were like widely accepted into like the black community in a way that like even some of his own relatives did some DNA tests and found out that like they had some Chinese like in their heritage because it went all the way back to when their family lived in Georgia.
It's also, there's been links to that are still here now. Like so many, all the good beauty supply stores are owned by Asians. Like we have like black people have been like the customers, like the consumers. So there was a relationship there for sure, and there still is.
Or even like you walk around like any of like the hood out here, you're always gonna find a couple fire Chinese spots high up in there.
Mama Lou's Dumpling House.
Monterey
Park.
Sorry. No, but I loved like, I think another thing I really like about the movie as well is like, it's like it being like a quote unquote black movie or whatever. Like it isn't the fact that like it is really just like about a specific part of the US, and including like the Chinese grocers, or even like my favorite scene in the movie is 2 minutes long. It's when the Native Americans come.
Oh,
that's like one of my favorite scenes in that entire movie.
They said, "All right, bye."
Yeah, and like I love it though because it's like this is an American film, and it's like how people view Westerns, and like, this is American history. This is American history. This is a specific part of America. All these things are happening, and like that's just what the movie is. Like it's just about the U.S. and about like a history of the U.S. Obviously not real.
Well, he even says like the only untrue thing about the movie is the vampires.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's like the only thing that makes it not real is the vampires.
It even just like made me think like when the Native Americans leave, like like that's what, like we just need to recognize sometimes that like these people, I mean, this is like, I guess not like, we're out of the movie. Just sometimes people are so stupid, like they're a level of stupid that you can't even reason with, and you need to just leave. And
that's the one thing
you know what, like like let him do, because now you're dead, girl. The fuck? Like you'd rather you're so racist that you'd rather like die.
Then listen to a Native American.
Yeah. Wait,
you're good.
Like,
you're good.
Like,
no, but that's like one of my favorite. Like the first time I saw it, and like I saw them come up. First of all, would love to know what they were doing to him to make him so scared. But also just like, it's like that knowledge too of like, of course the Native American, the Choctaw, which is the tribe that they're a part of, would A, know that he's there, B, know how to handle him, C, be on his ass to get off the land, because they're native to the land. They know everything that goes on there. So they know when there's something evil like that roaming.
Also, the choice to be specific with the Choctaw was very intentional, because apparently they have had like generationally like a bond with the Irish. Like they've sent each other aid like throughout history. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wait, let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
Oh my gosh, and the vampire being Irish. Oh my god. I fell down a rabbit hole of pre-colonized Ireland and I was just like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the UK.
Yeah.
UK? Oh my god. Like I'm like out of breath. Like why the UK like colonized their own people?
Yeah.
That's like so crazy. That's so crazy.
And it had been going on for hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years.
Being occupied.
And it's crazy too that like so many white Americans don't understand that that's literally their history.
Yeah.
It's like that's your like all of those languages, the only surviving language is Gaelic. Like that's insane. And it's still not even taught. Like it's just so sad. Like I don't know. I think that this movie also made me, I guess I've always known that there's been like, you know, solidarity between black people and Irish people, but just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
or even just like you can like upon them being colonized and then also Irish people being the first like oppressed people in the US during the colonies, like they were the first they had their own version of Jim Crow. I forget what it's called. It's called like No Irish Needed or something like that.
Yeah.
Like things like shit like that. So to make Remick be a vampire, but also like I also that was also my favorite thing too, because the movie's not even just about like I don't know like black versus white, I guess, but like this conversation of assimilation, and like Remick is such a great example of somebody taking their their victimization of colonization and using it on other oppressed people. And like not because like I saw this Tumblr post where somebody was like Remick knows what colonization is like and he knows what it's like to be oppressed, and he's doing that to all these other people through the veil of vampirism, through the veil of being like they'll never accept you, so come to me. But he doesn't care about any of the people that he killed. He doesn't care about their families, their cultures, their lives. They all sing like this is when I realized it, when they were all singing and dancing the Rocky Road to Dublin and doing all Irish dancing and all following him. They were all just doing everything that he wanted because he's like perpetuating the same cycles, but in this vein of like those white people hate you, right? But I don't hate you.
I think it's also the conversation of him becoming what he hated most. And the fact that is a recurring theme in history, and we're also watching it unfold right now. Like, if you look across the pond, like, they're doing that shit right now. Like, that, I just think that was such a key, like, layer in the story. And it's such a commentary that I feel like people are missing that part. Oh,
100%. I think
it's like
there's a lot of things in conversation, like how we were talking about Haley Steinfeld and how people are like not having or not engaging in her character story like in the way that I think people want them to, people being Ryan Coogler want them to, in terms of like what the one drop rule like did to many people, but also like how this white woman kind of not uses blackness, but uses blackness to kind of create a sort of community because she doesn't have any, because she was so separated from being white, but then ultimately uses that against them. Because she's the reason why it all happens. She's the reason why.
I think, have you guys read the book Passing?
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that book and movie is just so good, and it's just about it's kind of about like a character. What was her name? Mary, I think. It's like about a character like Mary, and it's like she passes for a white woman. But you guys should see that.
I will.
But that's like the first thing I thought of, and it's really interesting because it like I think this is, people aren't understanding what the one drop rule was. Like, if you had one damn drop, if you're like, they had what was the rule that was like, if you could vote, if your grandfather could vote, so basically no black people could vote. So like
like she was like, if it was the other way around and she was a white man, like and whatever, she looked like how she did, but because her great grandfather was half black, couldn't vote.
Like that's just insane.
Yeah, and it's also it is such a crazy thing that I wish people would realize too. Is like they're like, oh my god, like she got that 18%, she got that 10%. Like I didn't know she was like sister like that. But I'm like, do y'all also like I'm whatever. Like also realize the fact that like she says all of this and like she does all this, but she still looks white. That means like her family has been mating with white people.
Mating is crazy.
Sorry, been procreating, been reproducing with white people since her great grandparents, and she still is ostracized from like that community because of the 1-drop rule.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, what?
And also like just the fact that it's her and Stack, right?
Her and
Stack, like they end up together in a different life almost. Like they couldn't be together in this realm.
But it's like crazy because
like it's a happy ending for everyone involved. Weirdly, like it's about like the choices that we make, right? Like
except for cornbread. Damn.
Damn cornbread.
Yeah, cornbread. You didn't have to go that far like to piss.
His wife was supposed to like go to town.
Like damn,
that money like, for real. And she was pregnant.
Yeah. I feel bad for it's not Annie, the Chinese couple, I forget the name, Bo and Grace. I feel bad for them.
Okay, no, when you brought that up, when the vampire started speaking Chinese, that okay.
That's
here's the thing, like I hear Grace on that because what you're gonna start speaking in my language and say I know what you
was
like.
one of the scariest parts.
But it's like the Tumblr post I was reading, that's part of Remic's colonization, is that he can take, because hive mind vampirism, he can take these parts of their culture that they like and offer it as an offering to come with him. I know these things, and I can offer this to you. Come over here.
Oh my gosh, that's like so crazy.
I think it offers like these two very different, I guess, like directions that you can choose to go into, you know, like the way that like Remic's solution is to neutralize and make everyone the same and connected in the same way, whereas prior, during the like dance scene where like they had that kind of like
best thing ever,
like the blend of like past, future, present, all of that, and like everyone is like celebrating the fact that they're different and they're coming from like these like very deep historical, like ancestral, like roots that they bring along with them. And that's exactly what actually ends up tying all of us together as humans, is that we have that connection to music, and music being like the great connector versus like Remic's solution, which is like just make everyone exactly the same and wipe out that identity.
It's also crazy though when you think about him as a character and you think like his main motivation was to get to Sammy, which also on my second rewatch I realized every time he talks to Sammy, he goes Sammy, and it's my favorite thing ever. It's like so villainous. I'm like, yeah, I can go off. But for his whole motivation for that entire night is to be reconnected with his people, because he's from old, like he remembers getting colonized. He's from old Ireland, like oh my he's God. From like, old Ireland, but
that's why I had to look up where Remick was from.
He's from old Ireland, but like he literally told Sammy, he was like, your music can connect me to my people. I want to see my people again. Like his, like, it's crazy because his villainy comes from perpetuating those systems of like assimilation and tearing apart community, but his ultimate goal, his only want, is to see his community again.
Right, which makes him so relatable. And I think like Ryan Coogler does a great job like consistently in his films creating a very relatable villain, someone who's motivated by things that, you know, we all can like understand. Like also ultimately like what he wants is community and wants to feel connected again, in a way that he doesn't have now that he's technically dead, you know, like,
and all of his family's dead for many centuries. And so it's like you sit there, and I think that's also partially like what's so like provoking about the movie, is that you sit there and you're like, is he so wrong? Because technically like he is right, like he is part of a marginalized community, being Irish. He's ostracized being a vampire. I understand how he got here, but I just don't agree with what he's doing. You know? The whole you can't control what happened to you. It's how you react to it.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like his reactions to everything. But like it's something like, again, like when
It's
I
like
first
a cause and effect.
Yeah, it's literally, but it's the same. I think he's such a great villain because you can understand why he thinks this way, and like part of you can sympathize with him a little bit, where you're like, I do like
I hear
you.
Yeah.
What you're doing is wrong, but I hear you, but I understand kind of how you got there.
Yeah. It's like, hey, King, you're actually repeating
the same
cycle.
cycles.
It's like, how do we break that cycle? How is he not recognizing that? Like, how does he not see that? You know, I guess that's.
I feel like that's if vampirism was real, or like living forever was real, I'd imagine that it has to have psychological effects, like deep psychological effects on you.
Oh my God, Edward,
Twilight,
like, oh my God,
that's why he's like that.
Yeah, that's why he's like weird.
That's why he's weird for real.
Yeah, and it was
such a like that.
Literally,
Sorry.
Such a genius move to choose vampires for this, because there's already this established, like these established rules that the audience knows, like prior to coming into this. They're like, oh, it's a vampire movie. Okay, I know the rules of being a vampire. Can't go out into the sun, die from a stake in the heart. What they represent, which is like, you know, like lust and kind of like the dark side of things, and just having that all established so that you can go ahead and get to the message that you want, like a lot faster. I thought that was really, really interesting, because he says that he like went and like kind of weighed the pros and cons of like different types of monsters and like how they represented like different aspects of like the human psyche, because like that's ultimately all horror is, but like he chose vampires for that fact that like of what they represent.
I also think I've noticed a theme of like Native Americans and vampires. I'm like, like all along are vampires like a metaphor for colonizers? Like they suck the life out of you and they like take it for themselves?
I think they can.
I feel like it's a great metaphor for that, and then I also think vampires are a great metaphor for being colonized, and for, because it's the thing we were talking about earlier of like living, like Remick living for so long that you, like when you were immortal, every like fantasy thing I've ever read that has an immortal character, they all the characters have this similar like thought process of you can't have any attachments because everything goes on without, everything leaves you go on above everything, and like that's like the ultimate curse of living forever. And I feel like being colonized and being ripped away from everything that you've known is that generations down your lineage has no idea like who you are, what they're connected to. Like Black people have no idea, like African Americans have no connection to our past, right? Similar to how Remick multiple centuries later has no connection to his past. We're both just like, it's like I feel like it's just like another metaphor of just like existing and not having anything to tether you to like reality, if that makes sense. I'm thinking about all the vampire like shows and movies I've watched, like in like Vampire Diaries, it would be like shutting off your humanity. Like I think that's a big one. Just like, I guess, like what do we think the theme of, like the recurring theme of vampires versus werewolves, or vampires versus Native Americans, like what is that, like what do you think that symbolizes? I feel like you probably have it down, because like I think of the biggest thing I think of is Twilight, because obviously the werewolves were the Native Americans, right? And their whole, I feel like it's like vampires coming in sucking the life out of you, whereas like they were all about like keeping tradition, keeping life, keeping things, I don't know, community. Crazy. All of that to say, by the way, guys, if you guys like, have you guys seen Interview with the Vampire?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
So good.
Watch it.
I haven't seen like literally anything.
Look, when I was working at AMC,
you used to work at AMC?
I interned there for like a month. A little over a month.
I also used to work at a movie theater, not AMC, but not
the theater, AMC Networks.
I worked in a theater with a little dumb vest and a bow tie, serving people popcorn. Sierra said we are not the same.
Hey, if it makes
Sierra said I was working at the corporate level.
If it makes you feel better, I applied to the Regal here the summer for my college, and I applied and I called back so many times that they told me, we know you applied. We'll talk to you if we want it. We'll call you back if we need you. And I was like,
Did they call you back? Denial.
I remember they used to run this ad that was like, want to get your start in the movie business? Come work at the Regal Cinema.
They said aspiring filmmaker. Want to be an A-list actor? Come work at your local Regal, your local Edward Cinema. Come on down. Pop some popcorn.
I'm screaming.
But you should watch Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire.
With the Vampire.
Okay.
There's gonna be 2 versions if you look it up. There's the old version from the 90s with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
Oh.
So good. Very homoerotic.
Oh.
But like not gay.
Oh.
Versus the AMC Networks TV show. I think you'll like more. They have a really interesting discussion about race. Discussion about race. But also it is gay and they don't
They don't hide it.
They don't hide it.
Okay.
They don't. The original movie, that shit is. When I first watched it, I was like, "Are they gay?"
You would like. They've been around for so long. How can you not? Like, I think it's just safe to assume all vampires are gay.
I think every vampire is fluid as like.
Yeah. You just you stick around here long enough. You just start trying stuff.
I feel like I would actually lose my mind as a vampire.
Me too.
Like in the universe that I'd want to be a vampire in is Vampire Diaries universe because that seems like the most like logical one.
Because I like that the vampires have death as an option in that universe.
But I can put on my ring and like still live my little human life. Type shit. You know,
so let me go get a Bennett witch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Face my toastery, like, you know, like fucking put on my ring and like
get my little daylight ring.
Like I fear I'd be like, what am I gonna do now? Like I just like, travel, learn every language. Like oh my god,
that's what I would do.
Like oh my god, that's just like
that. I mean, what else?
Shave my head.
Right.
Like I don't know. I do like everything.
Yeah. What else is there to do?
Tattoo my whole body.
One thing I wouldn't do. I don't care if I got turned as a vampire when I was 17. I'm not repeating high school over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, Edward was weird for that.
Yeah, because also like,
really,
what do I
really
want with a kid? Like I'm 100 years old.
Yeah, like
get on my level, bro. Like,
mentally, we're so different. Like, that's the one thing. Twilight, Vampire Diaries.
No.
And the only thing the Vampire Diaries has about Twilight in terms of that trope is that Stefan quite literally couldn't not date her.
Why?
Because they were like fate aligned, and she was.
No, she was supposed to be with the other guy. No, she was supposed to be with the doctor, his doppelganger. Get into it.
Oh, Stefan. Oh, okay. Anyways,
yeah.
Will you ever watch Vampire Diaries? Okay,
I don't know.
I want to give you like a quick rundown. We can also just stop talking about it because there's so much lore to that show.
Yeah, no, there's so much. Oh my god.
I like the discussion though of like what would you be getting up to if you were a vampire?
Yeah. Right? Like
I feel like I would learn every single language. I would want to be like polyglot to the max.
Oh yeah. I see that for you too.
Thank you.
You'd be like, je m'appelle.
Yeah, I would just be like talking. I'd be talking for real. But I honestly think how a lot of the media, the vampires just stay in one place until they have to move. Well, I would do that.
Well, I feel like that's because like within the rules that they're abiding by, like they can't travel in the daytime. So it's like it's kind of they'd have to be like Nosferatu and like have like ship your coffin somewhere because there's also the rule of like you have to bring like the dirt that you were like.
Or that you were buried in when you were turning.
Yeah. See, I just need my little daylight ring. Like, it's
Yeah, the Vampire Diaries universe makes being a vampire very easy.
Yeah, it's like much
they make it very easy.
Because then you can also like if it's too much, like once you start like being like a terrible like animal, you can shut off your humanity and just like stop caring about everything.
Yeah,
cool.
And like you can just
like it's like a switch to them. They can just like be an animal, and because it's like it's too much for them to feel all the pain of their emotions. But I feel like I would still. I don't know what I'd do actually. I might shut that humanity off.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's. Sorry, this is such a detour to the sinners conversation.
Yeah,
but
I feel like there's more to talk about with sinners.
There is.
Right? There definitely is.
If we're gonna have the vampire conversation, maybe we can ruminate on this and come back. I feel like we should all agree on a set of vampire rules.
Yeah.
And then talk about what we would want to do.
That's tea.
Because there's a lot of different ones. But we can think about that if you want and go back to sinners. Because there is a lot to say. I do just want to elate on this podcast how happy I was when I saw Wunmi Masaku. I knew she was in the movie, obviously, but when I saw her as a genuine love interest that didn't have to fight or be ridiculed or do it, because it's just like obviously as in the media, the couple that's getting more, I guess, talk is Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, because the media loves a chocolate vanilla swirl. I am an example of that. Shonda. But I do love, and like I knew that Haley was gonna be a love interest going into it, but I like am so obsessed and just love that like when me and Annie was the other love interest, and that they were treated equally.
Right.
That the love stories were treated equally. That her and Smoke's love story was honestly like the more beautiful one, in my opinion.
More compelling.
It was like more compelling, it was more emotional. It was more like of a beautiful love story to kind of go through. And that she was just getting loved on by one of the only black men to ever make every person's fan cast list. White people love Michael B. Jordan. And she was getting loved on by him unapologetically, and I just fucking loved seeing that. I loved it.
It was like an established, comfortable kind of love that was like, like you could already, their chemistry was amazing.
Yeah.
By the way.
He has great chemistry with everyone on that cast.
So
he has
great chemistry with I'm sure everyone wants to fuck him, either like to be him or to like fuck him.
Are you a part of that?
Yeah. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Are you not?
No, of course I am. The fuck?
How tall is he?
He's like 6'1" or something like that.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, he's
did they make him shorter for the movie?
Let's see.
I feel like there's like a very vast like height difference with him and his, and I forgot her name.
6 feet.
Oh, he's 6 foot flat. That's why he's kind of love and blessings. I have the men in my immediate family are like 6'4". So to me, 6 feet is like.
It's like
minimum.
short king a little bit.
Not short, because it's taller than me, but it's like average. Like to me, 6 feet is average.
Right.
Which I know it's not, but to me it is.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah.
That's like how tall my dad is and my brothers.
Yeah.
My youngest brother's like really tall. Okay, anyways.
I think my dad's like 5'9".
Oh, really?
Yeah. You guys have seen it. He's like, he's a little short guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like see your dad and then I'm like, oh my god, short king.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, king.
Yeah, I don't think about that. I'm just like, hey, king.
Yeah.
And he goes about his way.
Literally, and then we laugh and literally. I love laughing with your dad.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that about Annie and her character.
That was my point though, is that like in the movie, Annie is like a lot taller than Michael B. Jordan.
I think she's a tall woman.
Okay.
Let me look her up.
Do you guys remember the scene with Stack and Mary when they were in the middle of the dance floor and like the music came on and he said like she's the only one that he thinks of?
Yes.
And like, oh my god, I really liked that scene. And I really liked the score. Like the score right there.
Ludwig. I was gonna say one thing about Ludwig.
Ludwig.
You, sir. I hope your pillow's cold every night, both sides.
Like chilly. Like I hope it's like a ice pack.
Ice pack cold. Oh. I hope you are always at the perfect temperature. I hope you just are. Your life is so. He has scored every movie that he has scored with Ryan Coogler has been so good.
So good.
And the score for this movie is so good.
I also think it's something to note that like Ryan Coogler seems to have like his crew.
Yes.
You know, like the people that he consistently works with throughout. And I think that that's like such a great approach of like, yeah, like you finding the people that you vibe with like creatively and just like staying there and seeing like how, like what more you can make with them.
Yes.
You know?
Like you're building a. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I loved that scene. I thought that was so great. I loved how it was shot too. I felt like it was like everyone else in the room disappeared. I feel like that was conveyed beautifully. I will say I did really like him and Mary's like Stack and Mary's love story too. I thought theirs was like, and the fact that they can be together, there is something to say about the fact they can only be together, like they kind of traded what's the word, struggles, I guess, because they couldn't be together back then, obviously because of segregation. But now like they can be together, but they can only be together at night. They can only be together for so like
seen out together for so long, some people are gonna be like, you guys aren't aging, you know, things like that.
What year was this based in? It was like 1930s, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting. Yeah, it also, like, seeing that dynamic was really interesting for me because my grandfather, the one I talked about earlier, his parents, like, his mom was black and his dad was white. And growing up, like, my grandfather was born in 1945, so this was probably like around their time. Like, they weren't allowed to be on the same side of the street. Like my grandpa couldn't walk with his dad. Like, that, like, it was very like, that's a real thing.
It's a real thing within a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, it's only, what, 60 plus years? People act like it's like hundreds of years ago.
Right.
No, like, people who experienced Jim Crow are still alive.
Right.
Jim
like,
Crow. Apartheid's another one too. I think I've talked about, obviously, Trevor Noah on the podcast before, but in his book, Born a Crime, he talks about the 80s South Africa, how when his dad would come and visit him, like, like, they would literally be walking on opposite sides of the street, and that's how he would, like, see his dad,
like,
because they couldn't be seen together.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And even just to, like, kind of tie it to the Mary story, like, if my grandfather was white passing, that doesn't matter. That, like, does not matter. If his mother was black, so he didn't get any kind of white privilege or, like, anything like that. If anything, mixed kids were also ridiculed. Like, so it's just, like, it's so... And it also ties back to Ryan Coogler saying that the only part that's, like, fantasy is the vampires. Like, this is real.
He also brought up something that, like, it was a fact that I read about, but I completely forgot. But then when he said it again, it, like, I saw it at work in his movie, was the fact that, like, genres are a byproduct of racism, like genres in music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, yeah, like, the idea of genres didn't exist prior to, like, the radio and broadcast, because like, they needed to be able to market music to a larger audience. And at that time it was, like, either black people's music, brown people's music, and then white people's music, and that was, like, heavily segregated. And that's wherein, like,
but also, like, white
blues.
people music, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but, like, white people music, the only thing that, like, stems from white people is classical music. That is the only that's the only thing. No Elvis, like,
Elvis famously stealing music from black
like,
people.
every single genre, like, Western genre, stems from the blues. Every single thing stems from the blues. So that's like how genres were created, was because of radios and because of racism. And also, white people would steal black music and just call it something else.
Right, so that it was more palatable or acceptable for like, white people to listen to it.
That should, it's so obviously so upsetting, but, like, I think also in the sense that, like, when we talk about, like, culture and things like that, like, it just I think it just really sets in the whole, like, culture vulture, like, taking from other cultures that, like, white people have done for a really long period of time. Because, like, in the another favorite scene of mine in the movie, and I think one that is, like, so I love that he did it, because I think it summarizes one of the points that he's really trying to make about blues music, and specifically is when the older man, I forget the character's name, but when the older guy is talking about his friend that got lynched, and he immediately, like, starts singing to, like, deal with the pain, and then they start singing blues, something that is, like, very much known in black community. We use music as a way to heal and as a way to get through, especially African Americans. Music was that's why, like, our church music is so loud and rambunctious, and why people, like, feel the spirit through them, because it was, like, the only way they could kind of get through, you know, Jim Crow and slavery and things like that.
Like, transcends language. And if you think about, like, slavery and a bunch of slaves on a boat, they would intentionally, like, not put people that spoke the same language together. So music was something that created, like, even more community during a time like that. And I think that's even why, like, the blues scene is so impactful. Like, Amazing Grace was a slave hymn. Like, I'm like, does the general population know that? Like, lyrics were added later. First it was just humming on the boat.
And then it's like, but like the fact that like that is like, it's like music is so integral to like African American culture and the way that we have dealt with like the pain of being brought to this country and everything that we've been through. So like the fact that then white people come and then take it and then make whatever the fuck they want to make with it and make genres. It's like, it just adds on to that that point, you know. But yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes too.
Oh yeah,
so
but the score, like even like combining Irish music with the blues too, like Chef's Kiss. Oh my gosh, I need to play you guys the song I'm talking about. Like,
is it the one?
Oh wait,
I don't know. Fun fact though, the white side of me is Irish. So this movie was literally, he was like, oh my gosh, there's some girl out there.
Mount Bayou / Proper Black Folks. That song, beautiful.
Play a clip for the pod.
Just play, yeah. I'll skip a little bit. This is when Stack starts talking to Mary. I just think it's so beautiful.
It is.
The guitar, like
my other favorite song, I loved Last Time I Seen the Sun. That's the song that plays at the end credits when Stack is like, last time I seen the sun, last time I seen my brother, and for a few hours we were free. That's a song that's playing in the background. Yeah. And it's such a good song.
I recently watched a video about how the drummer for Nirvana got the inspiration for, like, I guess, like he basically got inspired by disco music and how they did their drums. And so he, like, the clip, like, compares the two, like, one of Nirvana's, like, most famous songs and then the song that the disco song that he was referencing, and he was like, I literally just, like, ripped it.
Wow.
And you can hear it. Wow. And, like, you would never, he was like, no one's ever called me on it. But yeah, like, that's another example of how, like, Nirvana grunge white dude music is like disco, which disco then is inspired by the blues. You know, but like, you just don't, I think I don't necessarily think that should be like, I don't know, like, I want to hear what your thoughts are. Like, I think because genres are already such a, like, it's just completely like a made up classification system that comes from racism, that I don't think it's necessarily wrong for artists to just be inspired by other music. It's just the fact that you have to know and respect the sources and like where they come from and like give them all their props and like allow those communities to, you know, shine just as equally. But I don't know, what do you guys think?
So when you said that, the first thing I thought of was when I was auditioning for Berkeley, they told us this interesting fact, and the McDonald's theme song, the ba-da-ba-ba-ba, it's actually just a pentatonic scale, which is a blues scale, which is like do, re, mi, sol, la. But what they did was just flipped the last two and made the McDonald's theme, and now they're a billionaire. Yeah. And that is a blues scale that they took, and now they're...
That's crazy.
So I just, like, think it's, like, I don't know what the line is. I feel like as long as like credit is given, I guess, like we all know Whitney Houston didn't write I Will Always Love You, but like her rendition is popular, and that is like beautiful, and that's great, but the writer of those words is Dolly Parton, and that is beautiful, and that is also great. So I think like that can exist at the same time. It just hasn't been achieved a lot, especially by men. I think men, you know, like to just take things and not, even from other men. Yeah. Just like, ooh.
Separately, I hate putting a man on. I hate putting a man
onto things. I hate when men put me onto things. I specifically hate when I put a man
I'm trying to think what a man has put me onto that's like, that I didn't know of myself. Disappointment. Like I don't know. Like I'm trying like media, like genuinely.
A man put me onto Strange Magic by Electric Light Orchestra when I was like 15.
All right,
and I really like that song.
Like, I can't think of anything right now that's like.
I think for me the OG would be my dad putting me on to like rock music.
Oh, okay, but that's like cute.
Okay, that's true.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's like not.
Yeah. But it just.
No, yeah, I love that. Yeah.
That's so cute.
Literally.
I know sometimes I feel like I forget, and by extension, my friend. Like it's not something that you have to like, but I think sometimes I forget that my dad is white. You know, like, and then it's just like, oh yeah.
No, like you know, like period. Like like
no, that's like.
Yeah.
Nothing was said right there.
Right. And white.
And yeah.
White man.
Hey, you know, I have to remember I'm white all the time.
Yeah.
Genuinely. It's a genuine reminder.
It was a big hurt to my ego when I found out that like I'm more Portuguese than I am like Mexican. Like I got colonizers on both sides.
Damn. They got your ass, bro.
Won't you do it? Speaking of Portugal, the same thing happens with like Brazilian music. Like samba music was very heavily inspired by the Africans that came over. Like it's just so this isn't just like an American thing. This is wherever the African diaspora was taken. Wherever we go.
Girl,
Racism.
I think that's the $1 million question.
Right.
That is the question, is how did we get here?
And then even like just the fact that race isn't real. Like race is a social construct.
Literally.
Race is a social construct. And I think that also stems back to the Mary conversation because like race is just based on how you look, not actually what you are.
Yeah, or how you were brought up, or how you were like how you exist in the world, because she exists in the world as, for lack of a better term, a black woman.
Right.
But she's not.
Right. She's
white, but like that's her whole thing, is like she tells Stack, she goes, I don't want to be white.
Right.
I don't want to be with you. But like, yeah, like the construct is that she looks like that, therefore she's white, but that's not how she feels. That's not how she acts.
Right.
It's a construct, guys. It's not real.
And it also operates differently in different places in the world. Like it's just, I remember in high school, I had a lot of friends from Brazil, like moved from Brazil to America. And I had one friend, she was like, I just said something. I was like, yeah, I'm black. And she was like, oh, you're not black. And I was like,
I'm pretty sure I
like,
am.
last time I checked.
Yeah, like, this is news to me.
But then she was like, no, like in Brazil, you're brown. Like you're not black. Like they have like a whole different.
Oh, that's like Tyler.
Yeah, like they have a whole different. And I said, girl, I'm black.
Yeah, that's like how when everybody was getting mad at Tyler because she called herself. Did she call herself brown or mixed?
I think she called herself brown, and I just spit everywhere.
You're good. Yeah, and everybody was like, no, you're like, don't say that, like you're black. And she was like, that's just like how race works in South Africa. Like I'm not black,
guys,
I'm brown.
like it's not real. Like.
Yeah, which is like how you should know it's a contract.
But also just like. And this is another thing that we can blame on the colonizers, is race almost serves a purpose now, because if I'm not black, then what am I? You've stolen everything else that I am. So what else what else is my identity other than being black? Like, yes, it's like, okay, I'm ethnically this, but like you stole all of that information from me. So
you stole all that information from me and still didn't allow me to have the identity of being American.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, like,
girl, you know how crazy that the first time I ever confronted that was in Europe. Because or at least in France, obviously race is very much a thing there. They are some of the originals. There's some of the original think tank behind this great concept we talk about right now. But
I'm on the ground.
But
you know, they're right next to UK.
Yeah. But when in the US, when we talk, like when somebody asks me, what am I? I can list all the races that I am, because this country is so heavily built upon race. And let's take that as an answer. In France, when I got asked that, I didn't know what to say. I don't know where I'm from. It's a great thing about being African American. I don't know where I'm from, and I don't want to do a DNA test. I do. I just don't want to give the government my DNA.
Yeah, that's real.
Or private companies,
literally.
Yeah.
And
half
scarier.
And they've all like gone bankrupt or something. I don't know. But I don't know where I'm from, and I over there they're expecting me to say something ethnic because I know where my white family's from. We're from Germany and Ireland, so I could be like I'm Irish, and they would be like, okay, but like what else? Because obviously I don't like Irish, and it was just like crazy thing where I was like, I don't know. Yeah, like I can't tell you that because it's the whole thing about being the Black diaspora across different countries, and why African American diaspora is like so unique in the fact that like most of us don't know where we're from and have no connection to it, and that's why race is so serves a purpose specifically in the U.S. now, because it's such a race-based country where everything the way that we interact with each other is based off this construct and this idea. But like in Europe, when people would ask me, I would just lie and like say a country because first of all they don't know any better. They're not gonna.
But also like you like do know better. Like like
no, like they're not gonna ask me to like pull up the report. Like show me you're from where. I
just think some people it's like.
Oh yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like you know. Like can we like I don't know. And I get it. Like okay, what am I, babe? I'd like to know the same thing. Like
ain't that the question?
The same question.
Ain't that the question?
Or like when white people will be like, "Why is everything about race?" I'm like, I'm asking the same question. You get it? Like,
hey, we're all confused.
Like,
raise your hand if you're confused in this room. Okay.
Like. Yeah, I don't know. Just sometimes I'm like, can we just use like context clues? Like if I'm giving black, then like maybe like like I don't know, maybe just like be more conscious of it. I've also gotten it from black people, like Caribbean black people, because that's like a different.
Dude, that's when we get into diaspora talk.
Yeah, then we get into diaspora talk. We talk about the good. Yeah, see, that's for a different time.
Different episode.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about the movie?
Okay, I just need to say like. What did the intimacy coordinator do like during the spit scene? Like I just like I'm still on that, guys. Like that had me gagged. Like that had me.
This movie was so sensual, and like there were sex scenes in it, but like it's not the most like I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey.
Mm-hmm. No, that's like it's like nothing.
But like I feel like this movie probably would have had me more hot and bothered than 50 Shades of Grey. This movie had me more hot and bothered than Baby Girl did, and Baby Girl specifically about sex.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I haven't seen.
Sorry, Baby Girl just like it like rushed into my brain again.
But I could also feel it's like because it's Michael B. Jordan doing most of these actions. Anyways.
No, I like Baby Girl I was like, why are we... Okay, these movies really just like highlight how vanilla the vast majority of people are, I feel like.
Yeah, the movie was not crazy. I thought it was going to be crazier.
Yeah.
And it really like... It was a little, sorry, off topic. It was a little funny, but it wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh my God.
Yeah, like I wasn't
clutching
like,
my pearls.
Have you guys seen like 365 Days?
Girl, I know you be looking for 365 days.
No, that shit's the blueprint of like crazy.
I haven't watched any of it.
So my friends at the time invited me over and they're like, we're going to watch a movie. And they'd already seen it.
Yep.
They knew what they were asking me to do. Yeah. And we all sat on the couch together, like, and we started watching it. And I was like, I had no idea what I was signing up for. This feels inappropriate.
It was 365?
Yes. It felt inappropriate to share with other people.
I've never seen it, and I don't think I want to.
It's just, that's funny because that's how it happened with me, too. I had no idea what it was. I thought it was just, like, a hot Italian guy type shit. But, like...
To watch it with friends, I'm like, I feel like we should have consented to this. Like, genuinely, like, that's how...
Verbal and
written. That one was, like, actual, like, bleep this, but, like, it was, like, actual, like, softcore. And, like, no, like, I feel like hard... No, it was, like, softcore. But it was, like, literal...
Was penetration shown?
Like, yes.
That's crazy.
And he, like, spit, like, on her...
What?
the panini.
You saw they showed full frontal panini with spit on it.
No, like you could see him like you could see him like I said diva down. Oh my god. But no, like literally. Anyways, that was like a foreign film. But I think America is pretty vanilla in terms of films like that, because 50 Shades was nothing like that. Okay. Like it wasn't even.
But yeah, anyways, I was just saying that I thought Sinners was very sensual. Like I feel like it was a very
which I feel like is good, because it wasn't just like sexual, it was sensual. I think that's a really good word.
It was. It was. Oh my gosh. Another point I want to talk about. Miles Catton.
He learned guitar for the
Preacher Boy.
Oh, okay.
This is his first ever role.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And he learned to play guitar for it.
Wow.
Yeah, great work.
Yeah,
really good job.
No, I'm just like, y'all, like, I'm like, God, this is his first ever role for real. Like, this is like Dominic Sessa type shit too, where it's like, where the fuck did you come from? And now there he is. You know? But I just thought, the whole cast was really good. Everything.
I saw something that made me really sad though.
What?
It was like, if Chadwick Boseman was alive, he would have played one of the twins.
People think it was supposed to be Jonathan Majors.
And that just sent a shiver down my spine. Oh my god.
Think of it, because I
haven't heard that name since.
Well, because I feel like it makes sense though, because the dynamic was something that he was kind of playing with in Creed 3.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Majors has black horror background. Damn. You should watch. I don't support Jonathan Majors at all, but if you want to support One Me, she's in a show on HBO Max called Lovecraft Country. And it's literally, imagine this, but like in 1940s.
Is that still on? Like it's
on Max. It's a Max version.
But are they like making?
Oh no, it got canceled after one season.
Okay, I was about to say
Sadness. It's so good, but it's about Lovecraftian horror, and it's about like this group of black people in the South in like the 1950s ish. And he's the main character. It's a really good show. Fuck Jonathan Majors. It's a really good show. Anyways, all that to say, I think if Jonathan Majors hadn't done what he did, he probably would have been in this movie. That's like a theory that I feel like is probably true.
Yeah.
He would, but yeah, Chadwick probably would have been in it too.
Yeah.
He would have made a lot more movies with
Damn.
Can't talk about Chadwick. What was it? Start crying.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so if you were a vampire.
Oh, okay. So we'll go back.
I would have red eyes and sharp teeth.
Ooh, I so see your fangs.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, yeah.
I think personally, I think you're very werewolf coded, but
yes.
Okay, I could totally see you as a vampire.
Well, I feel like we're all like werewolf coded because we're not white.
I don't think I conflate whiteness with vampire.
Ooh, vampirism. Okay.
I know that in the media, mostly vampires have been white, but I don't. In my head, I don't think I conflate it with white.
Okay.
Have you seen so the second movie for Interview with a Vampire is called Queen of the Damned.
There's a second one?
Yes, because it's based off of the book series that Anne Rice wrote.
Yeah.
So there's a second movie that's based off of the second novel. Not nearly as good. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. But they have Aaliyah play Queen of the Damned before she passes away, obviously. And so she it's just such an iconic image of her, like all dressed up. Like you guys have to, I'll put it up, but like you have to see it. Yeah, she's just so beautiful. As but basically like that line, that like plot line is basically like she's one of the first vampires. So she's from like Africa, and she's like playing this like vampire who's like in control of everyone.
Oh my god. Okay, slay.
Show the screen, you'll see later. Yeah. So you would have fangs and red eyes.
Oh no, I was just playing because like you guys ever watched it? It's like TikTok, like this or that ones where it's like you're pretending to be like a mythical creature, and then it's like slide one is like you choose your eyes.
Oh
and then
yeah.
That's real.
I would. I would never want to be immortal. Like if we were like 80 and somebody was like, you can upload your brain into a chip, and
let me go. Let me go home. Let me
for real,
y'all. I said to my sister yesterday, like literally yesterday, I was like, yeah, like, you know, when I'm like old, like on my deathbed, and I start calling for Nova. I was like, that's how you know. Let me go. And she was like, girl, if you don't call for mom. I was like, oh, you're so right. I was like, wait, I like wasn't thinking about that.
Your mom.
I know, but like obviously.
No, you're gonna call for your child.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let me go. Don't upload my brain to
I don't upload my brain to nothing. Don't freeze my body.
Don't copy and paste nothing. That was up here. Please.
Can I show you guys something just because that was on my mind? If you guys want any more lore on Sinners, also, it's just a great part of, I think, the world building and the marketing of this team is, on Spotify. But if you want on Spotify.
I have the app.
And you go to the artist. You know how it has like the artist page?
Yeah.
Swipe a couple times and they comes up with these news articles.
Whoa.
And they are, so this one's called Grisly Discovery at Boston Harbor, Immigrant Shipwrecked, No Survivors. It talks about how dock workers discovered the wreckage of the Celtic Hare, a ship that arrived overnight carrying Irish immigrants. Upon boarding, they found blood-soaked decks, burned remnants, and a haunting silence. There were no survivors and no bodies to be found. Pretty much kind of telling you, like,
in Boston?
Yeah. But it's like kind of, this was, when this happened? 1911. So I think this is like maybe 20 years before the events of the movie. So it's like how Remick came here. Yeah. And how he like turned the whole ship and then they all died.
Whoa.
And then there's one about the Clarksdale Herald.
Are these like real?
It's just like extra lore for the movie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's just extra lore for the movie.
Okay.
And then there's another one about a bank robbery that rocked Clarksdale, which is the city that the movie takes place in. 2 masked criminals on the loose, and this happens in 1924, so about 8 years, I think is what the TikTok said, before the events of the movie. So this would be the reason why Smoke and Stack left, because they had robbed somebody. And then the last one was in 1932, which is, I think, a year or two before the events of the movie, which is gang tensions rise in Chicago, Irish mob and Italian mafia clash, which proves the whole thing about how Smoke and Stack robbed both sides. And then
I also think it's interesting that the movie like talks about that, the dynamic between Italians and Irish, because that's something that I've seen firsthand.
Because this is an American movie. It's about America.
About
America.
Yeah.
The only thing fake is the vampires.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my gosh. Last thing, we didn't talk about the ending and about how he killed the entire that clan.
Oh my gosh, right.
I just thought that was cool. I was like, yeah.
I think that was my only critique of the movie, is the fight scene. I'm going to be so honest. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if something happened in like either production or in post or something where they had to like make cuts to where like they just maybe didn't make their days or something. But when I watched it, I was like, I'm a little bit confused about the action, and I know that Ryan Coogler already has experience with like action scenes, like with Black Panther and stuff. So I was surprised why I was like, that was the only part of the movie where I felt like disconnected and was like, what's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Were you disconnected by like the way it was shot?
By the way it was shot.
Okay.
By the way it was shot, and like once that like decision was made where she lets in the vampires and everything goes to shit because no one has a plan. Like from that point on to where all the way up until Preacher Boy is about to kill the antagonist, like all of that seemed like kind of more jumbled than I think I would have expected of like a production like that.
Yeah, I hear that. It was like, it felt messy a little bit.
Yeah. I think parts of the movie definitely felt rushed. I feel like part of it too was because this is like a thought that I had. I'm sorry that I brought the topic back, but I feel like the movie was great and amazing and like very, very, very good. But I also think that there were certain points where he could have made it a horror movie and he could have made it the movie that it was. And I feel like that fight scene, like when it happened, I feel like it was kind of like a reminder, like, hey, this is a vampire movie. Like, just wanted to set y'all out there. But also, I said this to you after you saw it, but there's like that statistic where studios trust the American audience like less and less each year to like understand the point of a movie. Because I feel like that scene probably could have felt better if there wasn't like so much reiteration of the points he was trying to make throughout the film. Like the whole thing about Preacher Boy being a conduit between both both realms was said like 3 times. Like,
Right.
you know, you don't have to say that all the time.
Right.
Or like certain things were like reiterated. And I think it was probably part of the studio being like, you need to make sure they understand this. And like
What studio was it?
Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Speaking though of like just leaving the film itself and talking about like the production and how everything was set up, it is unheard of that Ryan Coogler got the rights to it in 25 years.
I know.
And I think that's extremely symbolic because, you know, his family comes from like sharecropping. And so like he like is very much like intimately aware of being subservient to a larger, you know, entity, you know, and like literally like sacrificing like your body and your years towards something that you'll never like actually own outright. So it was incredibly like, yeah, just I'm sure it felt like such an accomplishment to be the first director, I believe the first director to get a deal like that.
I'm pretty sure, I think Christopher Nolan's gotten a deal like that before. But he's the first black director I've ever gotten that done. I also just burped, sorry about that.
That's the only thing that warrants black.
Yeah, but I think Christopher Nolan has gotten a deal like that before. Yeah, no, but yeah, that the vampire action scene was a little. Oh, how did y'all feel when she said, "Come on in"? That's like a question I like asking people.
Okay, here's the thing. I think. Okay, like I think it speaks almost to like it is a commentary, I believe, on like Asians and black people, like the Asian community and the black community. And I think the point where her and the husband, what was the husband's name? Bo, when they realized that things were going to shit, they were like, okay, we're out. Like, we're not here to help them out. We're here for ourselves. So that was why he went. So I think that speaks to maybe like the origins of the Asian community. What's the word? I can't like think of words right now. Oh my gosh. Being in solidarity with us only when it benefits them. And I think that like I feel that from her saying come on in, because she could have just gone on out. So why is it not like you weren't gonna ride with us, but now we have to ride with you?
Because they were trying to save her.
Yeah.
And like not let her go out.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at it from like a narrative viewpoint where I'm like, okay, so you could have either gone the traditional route where, you know, you have this like almost like a montage of like them like preparing and like getting a plan together and then like going at it and like seamlessly going into the action scene. I appreciated that they didn't do that just because it was just different, you know. I wasn't expecting that to happen. And it made it more entertaining for me as a viewer. So that's kind of like, yeah, I didn't look at it as far as like the commentary as to like what he was trying to say, but I think that that's totally valid, that like that's a good take that I hadn't thought of before. I was just looking at it more from like a narrative kind of lens, you know, of like literally sitting there and writing the script and being like, where do I go from here?
Yeah. No, I liked it too. In terms of like narrativeness, I like that they, because I feel like also like as an American audience we're so used to like the hero story of like they're gonna win. So I enjoyed that that's how the vampires came in and not like they got ready and then put up a fight, because they were never gonna win that. And they were all gonna die. Which, like, even, like, going in, I was like, oh, I wonder how they're going to get out of this one. And then every time that I watch a movie where it doesn't happen, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is real life. A vampire was surrounding me, I died too. But in terms of, like, the racialness and commentariness, I also thought it was, like, I think, too, when we talk about, like, assimilation and things like that, like, I feel like when I think about story and like how Ryan Coogler was thinking about like, okay, who lets him in and how does he even get in the first place? I feel like you can tell that like none of the black people are gonna let him in because they have a stronger sense of like, I don't know how to say this. I feel like the black people in the barn were like, we're not letting you in because we know that you're like lying and we know that you aren't preaching this like peace and love or whatever, and we know that you're evil and like this and that. Whereas I feel like the Asian characters and the Asian community are placed by systems between the two, and so they're more likely to kind of assimilate because of like minority things like that. So I feel like it was important that it was Grace, and Grace did that after Remick teased her so much, and he specifically did it to her. He specifically did it with her because I feel like he knew that if anybody was gonna fall for you even just a little bit, it wasn't gonna be a black person,
right?
You know,
right? Yeah, I think that it was just intentional that it was Grace that did it. I hear her. If I said this earlier, if you start speaking my language, telling me what I like, and it's not coming from my man's mouth,
I'm gonna be freaked out. You start talking about my daughter, I want to kill you.
I'd crash out.
Yeah,
too. I'd crash out, but I'd run out there and crash you out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'd take my crazy with me.
Yeah, or I'd be like, guys, I'm about to like crash out and like let them in low key. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You would. You'd go, y'all. I don't know if I'm being crazy. Like,
guys,
call
I don't
me
know
crazy,
what to tell you.
like,
This is your warning. Like, if you need to like put tape over my mouth, but I'm about to tell them to come the fuck in. Like,
I'm gonna tell that motherfucker to come in right the fuck now.
Like, I'm just giving you a warning.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, damn, she just went straight to him and killed him. Now the daughter like has to work both stores.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like,
okay. Bruh, if the daughter didn't even die, like, that's my thing. Did he go and kill the entire town after that? No.
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 That was like why like they all died, and then
craziness. But yeah, I feel like that's like such a lot of people have like a lot of thoughts about that. Cause also because it was very much like they could have just waited out Remick and all of them.
But then they would have gone and killed the whole community.
Right.
Like that was the kicker.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't have let them in, but I fear I might have been convinced.
I think I would have been convinced. Yeah. I think if I was Smoke and my twin brother, who I can't live without and have a codependent relationship, was like talking to me for real and I was grieving, like if my sister died and
she was like,
your
no,
sister
like,
that you like survived with through war
that you killed your dad for, told me like we can be together, I would have folded like a lawn chair.
Smoke
bitch.
He was still stronger though than Grace. Like,
yeah.
Can we still like I'm just like,
and that's the beauty. That's every successful man has a strong woman behind him, because that was Annie. That was Annie saying, truly, none of these people care about you.
Yeah, she said lock in and let your soul pass over.
Yeah.
Like it. Oh, yeah. I feel like it's like you need to have someone strong with you on the other side. Like, no, this is bad. This is bad. Like, I really can't say what I do. I'm really bad at saying what I do in situations because I don't know. I need to be in the situation.
I kind of love that though. Not many people are like, I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Like, I can write an essay on what I think I do, but I really don't know at the end of the day.
I also just like, I've always said this in horror things, my will to live is real low.
Same. Like, that's how I feel about like, oh, what would you do in an apocalyptic situation? I'm out. Yeah. I'm out and I'm doing it so fast.
I'm take my pills and go sleep.
Within the first month. It goes to shit, I'm gone.
Yeah, the second we start talking about building walls,
I'm about to be like, all right, like,
because you know what they do to women in those societies? It's not good.
No.
No.
It's also just like, no,
Handmaid's damn tale.
Literally, Handmaid's damn tale. No, my will to live in those situations is so low. Yeah. I'm either, especially, I think about this all the time with the zombie apocalypse. Bro, I'm fucking dying. I'm sitting there, I'm letting that bitch tear me the fuck up. Like, I'm not.
No, I'm doing it even like easier.
I'm letting that bitch tear me the fuck up. I'm dead.
I'm not. My will to live is so low in the situation. So if I was in Sinners, I think I would just do it.
But here's the thing, like, we say that, but then like our body is like
adrenaline.
Actually gonna do everything it can to survive.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if you're in this situation, like, your nervous system is gonna make you run.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But then it's like, I guess it depends on like how much of a fight you want to put up.
Yeah.
That part is where I'm like, okay, like, I'm done.
I feel like my aversion to pain is gonna be really like the deciding factor. You know what I mean? Like, all of those outcomes seem really painful.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't think I know, like, my adrenaline wise. Also, the reason why I said that too is that, like, we talk about like fight or fight, I'm flight, fight, freeze.
Yeah, I was gonna say or freeze.
I freeze.
Yeah.
I freeze and I stand there. Like, if a zombie busts through this fucking door right now, if somebody busts through this door and is like, I'm going to kill you, I'm dead.
Yeah, then
like, I'm not putting up a fight. I'm not doing anything.
I don't know what I would do, truly.
At my old apartment, like, I probably told you guys this story, but I was walking home, and then, like, my friend started running after me down the hall. I didn't know that it was him, though. It was just a guy in a fucking black hood. Starts running after me. And when I tell you, I was like... I, like, see him running, and then I was like, oh, shit. And so then I start running, and in my head, so that was, like, the first time I actually, like, my body, like, actually had a reaction to, like, oh, my God, is this the time?
Yeah.
Like, I was literally, in my head, I was like, oh, my God, this is the
I
time.
I would have started crying.
Like, I was literally like, oh, my fucking God. Like, and so I'm, like, getting my keys, and they're fucking, like, my hands are shaking. I'm, like, putting them in the door. Then he grabs me from behind. He's like, it's just me, Sav. I almost slapped him across the goddamn face. I said, don't ever do that shit again.
Why the fuck would he think that's funny?
I said, don't ever. And he was like, I just wanted to say bye. Bye! What? Oh! Whew. My heart beating out of my damn chest.
The lack of self-awareness is so crazy. Why is my friend that's a woman scared because I'm chasing after her down a hallway at night?
And it was like, guys, it was like 1 a.m. too. Like, it was like, my roommate was asleep. Like, it was... down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like...
It's like every first date ever as well.
Yeah, I don't like it when men are like, oh, like, I'll bring weed on the first date. No, I'm not smoking your shit. What?
Mm-mm. No.
What the fuck you put in there?
Mm-mm.
Or, like, you're drink... No. Like, I've rejected so many hiking dates. I just can't do it.
Oh, hiking dates? The fuck are
I
you
know, I
on?
just, like, can't do it. I'm just
hey,
like...
if you're a man, don't suggest that.
I'm just, like, I'm not, like, doing that. Like...
No.
I'm not even gonna enjoy myself because I'm just gonna be like, oh my God, are you gonna... And also, like, the men that have asked me to go on hikes, they've been, like, the tallest men that I've dated. So I'm like, so you can just, like, throw me over the edge, low-key. Mm-hmm. Like, no. Mm-hmm. What?
Also, you're broke?
Period.
You said no. Nature is our playground, Sterling. The fuck. We're reconnecting. The fuck.
I want to hike with my friends.
Right. Like, I'm gonna spill tea on my hike.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also like, I have dated a couple guys that are always like, oh, let's do X physical activity. Bro, I get sweaty.
Yeah, really.
Bro, I get stinky and sweaty. That's not date material.
I have one cute workout outfit and that's it. I have one like, active date outfit and that's all I have.
I'm like, you don't need, especially for a first date. Like, I just feel like that kind of shit is like when we're dating.
Yes. Yeah, that's like multiple years down the line. Let's go on a hike.
This is like kind of inappropriate, but like the first time you see me sweat isn't gonna be when we're working out.
Oh, I know that's right.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. Like, why the fuck?
I like how on this podcast you said this is gonna be inappropriate.
I was like, wait. But like, what? You think I'm on the treadmill? Our first date?
No. You think I'm doing a PR? I'm hitting a PR on my squat on our first date. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. No.
Going to the gym with a man in general, I don't want to do that either.
I don't even like going to the gym where men are present.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't like being perceived by a man when I'm working out.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be in my own. That is for me, and that is for me to be out of my, like, real shit. Like, like, it's for me to, like, escape my mind.
I agree.
So then if I'm at the gym and there's men looking at me or, like, near me or trying to talk to me, then I don't even get a good workout. Like, I feel like, so that's why I do Pilates a lot of the time. If a man's in my Pilates class, and it's usually a chill man. Only chill men and like hot guys do Pilates.
I like got over it just because I like working out, and in college, like, I was obviously a lot of guys. So, like, when I first started going to the gym, I was really self-conscious about it, and then I got over it. But it's been nice. The gym I go to now is owned by these two guys, but it's, like, mostly girls. So it just feels like the girls with these two guy coaches. Yeah. I also think, though, I'm, like, that is okay with me because I've only ever had male coaches when I played sports, except for softball. Those are women coaches. But, so I'm used to having, like, that vibe.
Yeah.
I am okay with going to the gym where men are, just because like I'm so locked in, you know, and it's like my time, and I also know how to make this is gonna make me sound so evil, but like I know how to make a man feel stupid for talking to me, like pretty quick.
Remember that one time about that, like, when did you say you were at the gym and this one guy was like bothering? I know that's not specific enough, but there was like, wasn't like a guy like bothering you on the way out or something?
Yes. The employee at the front desk, he should know better, has been trying to talk to me, and it like just kept. It's happened like 3 or 4 times where he tries to talk to me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, like just whatever. But then this last time, he fully called out my full name. And mind you, I go by Sterling, but it's not my first name. He called me my first name, even though I've already told him I don't like that. He calls me my full name and is like, see you later. And then my full name. And I just like fully ignored him, like fully like looked at him and like walked away. Cause I was like, you need, like, next time you interact with me, I will hurt your feelings. Yeah. So at this point, it's just better that I don't even acknowledge you.
Yeah, I'd be doing the same thing. I'm like, I just ignore the nerve. Well, guys, that was this episode. Thanks so much for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Follow us on Instagram.
Oh, and rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Ooh. We are also on Apple Music now.
Yeah.
So go stream on Apple Music
that
too.
Purple little
rate us 5 stars. Follow us. Follow us on Instagram.
Give us
our posts
on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube, please.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.